Namaste, dear students. As usual, first of all, I want to welcome you to our English class of grade 9. I hope you are ready to learn English. And are you ready with your necessary materials like your English textbook, exercise book, and pen or pencil? Good. Today we are going to do some task on the listening skill in unit 11. So you have to be very active, okay? Because you have to listen to the audio and you have to do the task. So are you ready for it? Good. If so, now we are going to start our today's class. All of you, listen to me very carefully and be ready for doing your task. Okay, let me start. So you can see our thematic topic is gadgets and instruments, okay, in unit 11. So under it, we are going to do listening task. In our previous class, we learned to report the statements, okay. So today, it is something new for you. So dear students, let's begin. So you can see the questions, okay, and at the same time you can see the pictures. Now look at the pictures and you should answer me for these questions. So are you ready? Good. Now look at the first picture. What do you see in the first picture? Yes, you are right. You can see the man and walking there, maybe cooking, okay? Now, based on this picture, you can see the first question. And what's the question, all of you? Read it once. Yes, the question is, what do you think the profession of the man is? Now, you have to tell me the profession of this man. Do you know what is profession? Work, job, you know. So, what is the job of this man in the first picture? Looking at the picture, you need to tell me answer. What is it? All of you tell me loudly. Yes, his profession is a cook, or you can say chef, okay? Cooking. So is it clear to you? Good. Likewise, we have another question, and that is B. What does the second picture show? Now you can see the second picture, and what is it? Can you tell me? Oh yes, you are right. See, there are some bakery items. You can see like cookies type of thing, okay? And at the same time, you can say these are the ingredients. So what does ingredients mean? Wow, you are right again. Ingredients means things that are necessary to cook or to make any food item. See, the chef might have used these ingredients, and from these ingredients he might have baked these cookies, okay? So it means, I hope you might have already guessed what we are going to listen to today. So what is it? Okay, before listening to the audio, again I want to show you some pictures. So it is the matter of prideness, you know, of our country. So can you tell me who is he? Wearing Nepali dhaga topi, you know. Who is he? Yes, you are right. See, he is Nepali chef, okay? Mr. Santosh Saha. Have you ever heard his name? Definitely you have heard. See, he has been declared runner-up in the UK's most prestigious cookery show, MasterChef. The professionals on BBC One. On Thursday's finals, he cooked against two others competing to be crowned MasterChef Champion 2020. See? So it means, dear students, you know what we are going to listen in our today's audio. So, before listening to the audio, you have to be familiar with the questions, okay? You have to be familiar with the task, what you are going to do. So for it, all of you look at this task, and this is task B, okay? And listen to the audio and tick the correct answer. So what are the questions? First of all, you need to keep the questions in your mind and while you are listening to the audio, it will be easier for you to catch the main ideas so that you can tick the correct answer. So all of you read the questions first. A. Where did the chef learn to cook? And the options are at a cooking school, at a family member's home, in a friend's kitchen. Question B. What is special about the chef cookies? Now options are he makes them by following a healthy recipe, he prepares them by using cheap ingredients, he sells them at many local stores. Question C. Which ingredient does the chef not use to make his cookies baked? Dear students, you have to be careful in this question. See, here is N-O-T, not. Not is written in uppercase letter, okay? So it means that you have to find out which one is not used, okay? So the options are baking powder, flour and sugar. Question D. At what temperature should the cookies be cooked? So the options are at 305 degrees, at 315 degrees, at 350 degrees. Now the last question for this task is E, and the question is, what is the topic of the next cooking program? Now you have to find out the name of next cooking program. So options are fun cookies for teenagers, inexpensive meals and tips for cleaning your kitchen. This is the first task for you. Dear students, now you have to do one more task, okay? And the task is listen to the audio again and complete the sentences with the correct words from the box. And the words given in the box are switch, entire, ingredients, preheat and pinch. Now you have to read the sentences. A. Don't forget to ... the oven to 350 degrees. B. It looks like we don't have all of the ... to make dinner. Let's go to the store and buy them. C. If the meat doesn't taste just right, try adding a ... of salt. D. Please put the ... mixer in a baking pan. I hope you are familiar with the task that you are going to do while listening to the audio. So, are you ready for it? Good. If so, now you are going to listen to the audio for the first time. Please listen to the audio, be familiar with the audio, and even you can start doing your first task, okay? Dear students, I am going to play the audio for the first time. Listen to it very carefully.
Well, hello everyone, and welcome to today's show. And joining me today is my daughter Ashley, who has had to endure my cooking experiments over the years. Are we ready, Ashley?
Ready to eat.
Well, let's wait for a few minutes. We'll get to that. But as you know, my faithful listeners, I started cooking and baking almost 30 years ago when my grandmother taught me in her humble kitchen. In fact, she taught me almost everything I know, and I've never attended cooking classes.
You should have.
Wait. I know, my daughter's going to mention to you faithful listeners that recently, as I was helping the kids prepare for our kitchen for a chicken meal, I forgot to take the chicken out of the oven, burned the bird to a crisp, and we ended up ordering pizza for dinner.
We had to use the fire extinguisher.
But that's another story. So anyway, today I'd like to share with you our favorite, at least my favorite, chocolate chip cookie recipe. Now, before you switch the TV channel, I know what you're thinking. Another fattening cookie recipe? But wait, what makes this recipe great is that it offers a wonderful low-fat, low-calorie, low-cholesterol dessert for the entire family.
We still like the fat, though.
Well, I know we do, but let's say we have all the ingredients, and so we can start by mixing all of the ingredients, the sugars, the flour, the egg whites, the low-fat butter, vanilla, baking soda, and a pinch of salt in a large mixing bowl. Then we add the mini chocolate chips. Now my kids would like me to add the big ones, but we start with the mini chocolate chips. And don't forget to preheat the oven to 350 degrees. And finally, when the cookies are done, take them out of the oven, remove them from the cookie sheet, and let them cool before their fingers get into them. Did I forget anything?
Yeah, if you have college-age kids, be sure to make a few extra batches they can take back to school for their roommates. And don't forget, the kids still at home.
Oh, well, yeah, we can't do that. We can't forget them. And, unfortunately, by the time your kids get the cookies, you, the cook, will be left with a single cookie, your instant diet plan for you, and a dirty kitchen. So, that's all for today. On next week's show, we will be showing you how to feed hungry teenagers on a budget without having to sell the family car. Until then.
Dear students, I hope you might have been familiar with the audio. It is about cooking recipe, okay? And I hope at the same time you might have finished your first task. That is, tick the correct answer. Have you finished it? Okay, don't worry. I am going to play it for the second time, and this time again you can do the first task, and if you have finished your first task you can do your second task, okay? And after the second time again I will play the audio for the last time, that is the third time, okay? So don't worry. So are you ready?
Well, hello everyone, and welcome to today's show. And joining me today is my daughter Ashley, who has had to endure my cooking experiments over the years. Are we ready, Ashley?
Ready to eat.
Well, let's wait for a few minutes. We'll get to that. But as you know, my faithful listeners, I started cooking and baking almost 30 years ago when my grandmother taught me in her humble kitchen. In fact, she taught me almost everything I know, and I've never attended cooking classes.
You should have.
Wait. I know my daughter's going to mention to you faithful listeners that recently, as I was helping the kids prepare for our kitchen for a chicken meal, I forgot to take the chicken out of the oven, burned the bird to a crisp, and we ended up ordering pizza for dinner.
We had to use the fire extinguisher.
But that's another story. So anyway, today I'd like to share with you our favorite, at least my favorite, chocolate chip cookie recipe. Now, before you switch the TV channel, I know what you're thinking. Another fattening cookie recipe? But wait, what makes this recipe great is that it offers a wonderful low-fat, low-calorie, low-cholesterol dessert for the entire family.
We still like the fat, though.
Well, I know we do, but let's say we have all the ingredients, and so we can start by mixing all of the ingredients, the sugars, the flour, the egg whites, the low-fat butter, vanilla, baking soda, and a pinch of salt in a large mixing bowl. Then we add the mini chocolate chips. Now my kids would like me to add the big ones, but we start with the mini chocolate chips. And don't forget to preheat the oven to 350 degrees. And finally, when the cookies are done, take them out of the oven, remove them from the cookie sheet, and let them cool before their fingers get into them. Did I forget anything?
Yeah, if you have college-age kids, be sure to make a few extra batches they can take back to school for their roommates. And don't forget, the kids still at home.
Oh, well, yeah, we can't do that. We can't forget them. And, unfortunately, by the time your kids get the cookies, you, the cook, will be left with a single cookie, your instant diet plan for you, and a dirty kitchen. So, that's all for today. On next week's show, we will be showing you how to feed hungry teenagers on a budget without having to sell the family car. Until then.
Dear students, I hope you might have done this task. Now we are going to do one more task, that is, listen to the audio again and complete the sentences with the correct words from the box. You are already familiar with the task. Now I am going to play the audio for the last time. This time you have to complete this task, and at the same time you have to check your answers. And if there is any mistake, you can correct your answer. Have you got me? Good. If so, now listen to the audio very carefully, okay?
Well, hello everyone, and welcome to today's show. And joining me today is my daughter Ashley, who has had to endure my cooking experiments over the years. Are we ready, Ashley?
Ready to eat.
Well, let's wait for a few minutes. We'll get to that. But as you know, my faithful listeners, I started cooking and baking almost 30 years ago when my grandmother taught me in her humble kitchen. In fact, she taught me almost everything I know, and I've never attended cooking classes.
You should have.
Wait. I know my daughter's going to mention to you faithful listeners that recently, as I was helping the kids prepare for our kitchen for a chicken meal, I forgot to take the chicken out of the oven, burned the bird to a crisp, and we ended up ordering pizza for dinner.
We had to use the fire extinguisher.
But that's another story. So anyway, today I'd like to share with you our favorite, at least my favorite, chocolate chip cookie recipe. Now, before you switch the TV channel, I know what you're thinking. Another fattening cookie recipe? But wait, what makes this recipe great is that it offers a wonderful low-fat, low-calorie, low-cholesterol dessert for the entire family.
We still like the fat, though.
Well, I know we do, but let's say we have all the ingredients, and so we can start by mixing all of the ingredients, the sugars, the flour, the egg whites, the low-fat butter, vanilla, baking soda, and a pinch of salt in a large mixing bowl. Then we add the mini chocolate chips. Now, my kids would like me to add the big ones, but we start with the mini chocolate chips. And don't forget to preheat the oven to 350 degrees. And finally, when the cookies are done, take them out of the oven, remove them from the cookie sheet, and let them cool before their fingers get into them. Did I forget anything?
Yeah, if you have college-age kids, be sure to make a few extra batches they can take back to school for their roommates. And don't forget, the kids still at home.
Oh, well, yeah, we can't do that. We can't forget them. And, unfortunately, by the time your kids get the cookies, you, the cook, will be left with a single cookie, your instant diet plan for you, and a dirty kitchen. So, that's all for today. On next week's show, we will be showing you how to feed hungry teenagers on a budget without having to sell the family car. Until then.
Dear students, I hope you might have finished this task too. Now it's time for checking your task. And I am also listening to the audio, I have also done this task. Now you have to check with me, okay? And if you are right, you can tick yourself. And if you are wrong, don't worry, it is just a practice, okay? And while we are listening to the audio, at that time, we have to concentrate on it, okay? Now, it's time for checking our task. Now, I want to start. So, the first question is, where did the chef learn to cook? What is your answer? Is this at a cooking school, or at a family member's home, or in a friend's kitchen? What's your right answer? All of you tell me. Okay, let me check which one is the correct one. So, did you tick this answer? Perfectly correct, because the speaker there says that his grandma taught him. Okay, so your answer should be at a family member's home. So, if you are not right, don't worry, you can correct, okay, because we are learning. Now, B. What is special about the chef's cookies? So, which one is the right answer? All of you tell me now loudly. Okay, let me check whether you are right or wrong. Now, it is, let's say, he makes them by following a healthy recipe, Did you tick it? Good job. And if you haven't, don't worry. Again, we are learning. We can learn by making mistakes, okay? So, he makes them by following a healthy recipe like low calorie. He says this type of thing there in the audio. Is it clear to you? Good. Now, see. Which ingredient does the chef not use to make his cookies baked? And which one is the right answer? Which answer did you tick there? Is it baking powder or flour or sugar? Which one is the correct one? All of you tell me. Okay, again I want to check whether you are right or wrong. And your answer should be, again, one more time to tell me. Alright, that is baking powder. The speaker says like sugar, flour and baking soda, okay? Baking powder is not used there. He says baking soda. So your answer should be baking powder. Like this, we have another question again, that is D. And the question is, at what temperature should the cookies be baked? And what is your right answer? Is it at 305 degrees or at 315 degrees or at 350 degrees? Which one is the correct one? Alright, you are correct. It is at 350 degrees. Now we have another question, that is E, and the question is, what is the topic of the next cooking program? And your answer, see whether it is fun cookies for teenagers or inexpensive meals or tips for cleaning your kitchen. Which one is the correct answer? You ticked there. All of you tell me once again. Okay, let me show you which one is the correct answer. Okay, and the correct answer is inexpensive meals. The speaker says about budget, this, that, So have you got this idea? And did you tick this inexpensive meals? Perfect. Very right answer. Now after this one, we are going to take another task, that is SWE, and it is listen to the audio again and check your answer. So you have to check with me. Now the first one, A, don't forget to ... the oven to 350 degrees. So which one is the correct answer here, like sweets or entire or ingredients or preheat or pinch? What is the correct word you have supplied in the blank? All of you tell me. Okay, you are right. Have you written preheat there? Good job. So don't forget to preheat the oven to 350 degrees is the right one, okay? Now, next one is B, and the sentence we have is, it looks like we don't have all of the ... to make dinner. Let's go to the store and buy them. So which one is the correct? Now we have 4 words left here: sweets, entire, ingredients and pinch. Which one is the correct word? What did you write there in the blank? Is that right? Okay, let me show you. The correct word for this blank is ingredients. So you are right. You have done correctly. See, the sentence becomes, it looks like we don't have all of the ingredients to make dinner. Let's go to the store and buy them. So have you done it? And dear students, if there is mistake, don't worry. I have already told you that we can learn by making mistakes. Now you can correct, okay? And you can supply their ingredients. Now, see. If the meat does not taste just right, try adding a ... of salt. So we have 3 words left, like sweets, entire and then pinch. So which one is the correct word you supplied in the blank? So what is it? Is it sweets or is it entire or is it pinch? Which one? Okay, again you are right. The correct word for this blank is pinch. P-I-N-C-H, pinch of salt. And the complete sentence is, if the meat doesn't taste just right, try adding a pinch of salt. Okay. Now the last task, the last sentence of this task. So D, please put the ... mixture in a baking pan. So which one is the correct word? We have 2 words left. One is sweets and another one is entire. So which one is the correct word you have written in the blank? Okay, I'm waiting for you. Tell me loudly. All right, your answer is entire mixer in a baking pan. Okay, and the complete sentence becomes, please put the entire mixer in a baking pan. This is the complete sentence. Dear students, I hope you might have done correctly, and if any mistake, you might have corrected. So, you need to listen to the English, programs. You need to watch English programs so that you can build up your habit of catching or getting, main ideas for the information. Okay. Now, after this one, we are going to discuss something more, and that is extra bit. Okay. So, have you found it in your textbook? Good. So you can see here verbs. So can you tell me how many verbs are there? So you can say there are main verbs, auxiliary verbs, modal verbs, but here we are going to discuss about another type of verb, and the verbs are transitive and intransitive verbs. Okay, you might have learnt as sakarmak kriya and akarmak kriya in your Nepali Bhakaran. Have you read it? Okay, then it's a plus point for you. Okay, so then can you tell me, first of all, let's learn these examples, and you need to try to find out what is a transitive verb. Okay, likewise you will learn some more other examples, and you need to tell me what is an intransitive verb. So the examples are, see, I admire your courage. One sentence. Another sentence we have, we need to maintain product quality. Again we have another sentence, I couldn't face him today, and she loves animals. So here admire, need to maintain, couldn't face, loves, are they transitive verbs or intransitive verbs? What do you say? Good job. They are called transitive verbs. And can you tell me why are they called transitive verbs? Oh yes, because they are called transitive verbs because they need object. So what is object? Yes, you are right. In Nepali Bhakaran we say karma. Okay. So karta, karma, karma is object. And here I admire your courage. See, we have here your courage. Okay. Now here we need to maintain product quality. Okay. Here I could not face him. There is again object. Now here she loves. What does she love? Animals. Okay. So in another word, if you find answer of what, generally, then you can think that there is transitive verb. Okay. Now we have some more examples for intransitive verbs. Let's learn. The baby was crying. I work for a large firm in Paris. They laughed uncontrollably. We talked for hours. Now, do you find here, let's say, objects in the sentences? So, the baby was crying. Is there any object in the sentence? Is there any karma? No. See, there is no answer of what. Okay, the baby was crying. If you ask who was crying, then it can be subject. The baby was crying. We don't have any object, And likewise, in B, another sentence also, I work for a large firm in Paris. So what do you say? Who work? If you ask who works, then it is I work. Okay, so we don't find here any object. Likewise, in another sentence also, they laughed uncontrollably. So what laugh? We cannot ask this question. Okay, this is just a hint for you to find out transitive or intransitive verb. Okay, and we talked for hours. So what talk? See, we can say who talks, and if we say who talks, at that time it becomes again subject, we talks. Okay, so here, dear students, objects are not used. So from this point of view, you have to understand that there are two types of verbs. They are transitive and intransitive verbs. Now, can you tell me what is transitive verb? Well, you can find here also. See, a transitive verb is a verb that requires an object to receive the action. So, it means that to receive the action, to get the action, there should be object. If the verb is said to need object, that verb is called transitive verb. Okay, and here I admire your courage. If I say why I admire only, then what? See, it needs something there, and that is your courage. And here we need to maintain. If I say only we need to maintain, then what? What to maintain? Product quality. Okay, again needed object. And if I say I couldn't face today, then what? What to face? Him. There is again object. And here she loves animals. If I say she loves only, then what loves? See, it means we need again something there to receive the action. Okay, so this type of verb is called transitive verb. And if you go down again, your job is to find out what is an intransitive verb. So what is an intransitive verb? Can you tell me? Okay, don't worry, I am here to help you. So an intransitive verb is a verb that does not take an object. See, it is just opposite to this transitive verb. Transitive verb takes an object. Intransitive verb does not take an object. Okay, so here the baby was crying. We don't need any object. The verb crying does not take any object. I work for a large firm in Paris. This work, the verb work, does not need any object here. And in this sentence also, they laughed uncontrollably. So laugh does not need any object. And in the last sentence, we talked for hours. And for this word talk also, we don't need any object. That's why they are called intransitive verbs. So have you got the idea about transitive and intransitive verbs? Good. Now I want to write some sentences on the board, and you just tell me whether the verbs are transitive or intransitive. Okay? He gives me a flower. 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 Now the verb, which one is verb here? Good. This is gives. Now is this transitive verb or intransitive verb? What do you think? See, he gives me a flower. So if you write only he gives, so what gives, So does it need any object? Yes, it needs object. See, here is me, a flower is an also object, That is why this gives is a transitive verb or intransitive verb. Yes, you are right. It is a transitive verb. Okay. For example, if I write here C, C-R-U-N-S, runs now. She runs. For example, so what do you say? Is it transitive verb or intransitive verb? She runs, Does it need any object? What do you think? She runs. Now, this verb does not need any object to receive an action. That's why it is called an intransitive verb. Dear students, I hope you might have been clear between transitive and intransitive verb. You need to practice it a lot so that you can easily find out whether the particular verb is transitive or intransitive. Dear students, in our today's class, what have we learnt so far? Yes, you are right. We learn to do listening task. Okay, so we have to listen to the audio very carefully. We have to be familiar with the questions first, and then we have to put our extra concentration on the major ideas for our task. And second thing we have learned in our today's class is transitive and intransitive verb as an extra bit. Okay. Now after this, I have one more task for you, and that is your home assignment. Okay. And what is it? It is, do you watch cooking shows on television? Share a reason why you do or do not with your classmates. It means that, do you watch cooking shows? These days there are many channels on television, and some of the channels are only for cooking shows, So have you watched them? Good. And if you watch them, why do you watch them? And if you don't watch, no problem. You have to again write down, why don't you watch those cooking shows? And you can begin like this, okay? For example, you can write down, yes, I watch cooking shows on television because I learn to cook different food items. And you can add your other reasons, okay? And if you don't watch, don't worry. You can write down, no, I do not watch cooking shows on television, because you can write down. For example, you can write down, I am not interested in cooking. I am not interested in kitchenry work, You can write down. So, dear students, I hope you might have got the clear idea about your home assignment. Keep watching cooking shows. It's all for today. Have a wonderful time. Goodbye.